yeah.
Hey, boys.
Okay, from the
Yeah,
chat, really
yeah.
quick. I'm gonna assume Candyman isn't in anyone's top 10.
No, but I actually really did like Candyman.
Oh, really? I gave it a very mild 3. I thought it was just kind of acceptable.
I think it worked more
Yeah,
for
go
me
ahead.
than it worked for a lot of people, but yeah, it's certainly not. It's my 20 set. It's number 22 in my list.
Oh, yeah.
Let me find it for me.
Sorry, it's
like-
number 27 in my list.
Ooh.
It's not on my
That's-
list. I need to put it in my list.
Yeah, that's pretty high for you, Matt, out of 107 or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
113,
it is on my
but
list,
only
right?
111 are represented because I haven't put a few of them in. But yeah, I really enjoyed Candyman. I understand why a lot of people didn't like it. It just sometimes it works for you.
I didn't think it was it's a horror film, but I didn't think it was very scary, and I thought its characterization of Candyman is really interesting, but it didn't really like dig into those themes as much as I'd like it to, other than kind of gentrification of like an area.
Yeah.
I think the character of Candyman is really interesting, but I didn't think the body of the film was all that gripping in comparison to the legacy of the character. But it's it's as a kind of like reboot sequel thing, it does a fine job.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing remarkable, but it's fine.
I watched Last Night in Soho very recently, and I gotta say, I think it's Edgar Wright's weakest outing. I like again a mild 3.
I would agree. I was very hot on it at first. I really loved it, and then as I sat with it longer, it went from like a 4.5 to a 3, which is a dramatic drop off. And I think a lot of it,
Jesus.
I really loved it on right out of the gate because I think I was just really like thirsting for a good movie, and I was like,
in the mood for it.
I was in the mood. I was like Anya Taylor-Joy, Thomasin McKenzie, time travel, horror film, Edgar Wright. You got me. And I watched it, and I think I was just force feeding it quite a bit, and I think it's fine. Again, that's another horror film that I didn't think that it was all that scary, and for someone that is so, he made that fake trailer Don't for the Grindhouse films, which is really great, and you can tell that he has a lot of love and care for like those Giallo films, and I felt like with this one he didn't quite hit any of that, which I thought was interesting for a filmmaker like him. And I feel like, and I think I might be the minority here with this, but I feel like he is getting weaker as a filmmaker, like when he doesn't have Simon Pegg with him. I feel like when he's got Simon Pegg, like I feel like he's just really great at comedy, and he should just kind of stick to comedy. Like I'm never going to not tell a director go and only do this, Like I think it's always healthy to kind of like play around different genres, but I think between this and like Baby Driver's good, like as an action film, but again, it's like his strength is so heavily involved in comedy that I think if he wants to continue to have success, I think maybe comedy is the way you should go. But it's always worth trying a different thing. I just think that Last Night in Soho wasn't a very effective horror film, which I found very surprising considering kind of where his roots come from.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that.
That was one of the ones that I unfortunately didn't get around to seeing. I was really curious about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's maybe one of the few movies I didn't see this year that I'm still intending to watch. But yeah, I've heard mediocre things. I've heard it's okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It does the job.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer.
The French Dispatch is a piss movie.
Whoa,
Fuck that movie.
Really?
The movie's a pile of
Okay,
shit.
see, this is we need to talk about French Dispatch though. So I think you two probably remember or recall, compared to most people, I am so not a Wes Anderson fan for the most part. French Dispatch. But this was a stronger outing for me with Wes Anderson. So I think Moonrise Kingdom is pretty good.
I'm moving off of your Twitch because I don't even want to watch the trailer for this fucking movie.
I forgot to review this movie. Oh my god!
I think this is in the middle of his filmography for me, so I don't love it by any means, and I still am not. I'm not gonna be a Wes Anderson stan at any point in my life, but also Grand Budapest I actually loved. That's really the only movies of his I really love. But this one, it's interesting because I went to see this with our friends Eric and Casey, and me and Eric are not really Wes Anderson fans, and Casey, this is her favorite director, and we had opposite reactions. The Wes Anderson fan hated this movie, and the two of us actually thought it was, I mean, I give it a decent 3.5, but I don't know. I don't have any big things to say about it. So, okay, so how do you rate this, Matt? Go into it.
Hold on. I'm pulling up my extremely poignant review.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's fine.
This movie is so devoid of any heart. It's just, oh god, I hate this.
This just in, I just got my 2022 DGA card, so.
Oh,
nice, big flex.
2 stars, or is that a 1? Or is that I can't
That's a 1.5, and the review says this movie is piss.
Oh my god!
I like the Léa Seydoux, Javier Bardem parts, but other than that, yeah, I thought everything else was pretty.
Are
rough.
you talking about the Léa Seydoux? It's not Javier Bardem. It's Benicio. Benicio del Toro.
Sorry, Benicio. Sorry.
I think that Bill Murray works in the movie and is not given very much. I actually like the Owen Wilson part. It's, I mean, a very short part. Literally, none of the sketches worked for me. I think the Benicio one worked the most, but
then the animated chase at the end is just kind of lame.
That's not in that one.
No, but I'm just saying, like, in the movie.
The animated chase is bad. I don't know. That movie has no fucking heart to it. Okay. None of the characters have any emotional stakes whatsoever. Yeah. It's like Wes Anderson to the nth degree. As someone who usually enjoys Wes Anderson, to the extent where there's so much frivolous dialogue that it wasn't even registering to me what people were saying.
I completely agree.
I hate that movie. That movie's so fucking bad.
Yeah, so I think I really don't disagree with anything you're saying, because I went into this with extremely low expectations, and I think that probably really aided how I felt about it. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't disagree, especially about the lack of like heart and soul. But as you said, the lack of heart is kind of, I mean, in most of his movies, it's just intentional, and that has always been a huge thing that I hate about his movies.
I would not say that I think that his movies don't have. I think that there's an emotional standing for all of his characters in every movie until this one. Whether or not it works for you, I think there's an emotional heart. Oh god, I watched so much shit. I'm trying to go back. I double featured, I think it was Dune. I think I did Dune and The French Dispatch in the same day, and I think I was more impressed than I thought I would be with Dune, and I fucking hated The French Dispatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit, man. That's cool. I can't get in the way of Wes Anderson hate. I kind of have to support it out of obligation, I think, even though I like this movie. So that's cool. All right. Well, shall we get into it just for the sake of time? And if we have time left over at some point, we can I have a few more things.
I don't want to reveal too much of our list. You know what I mean?
Let's do it. All right.
Let's get into it.